All right, I guess I am your cup of coffee. So, this segment this morning I have given a lot of thought to. I've been in this role at Economic Development for about 3.5 years, and I very much want this to be absolutely not about me and very much about us. This room full of people, skeptical though you may have been 3.5 years ago, has worked together with me and our office in ways that I think are phenomenal. And as I gave some thought to how to sort of wrap up this day, I know there's another brief segment, but how I could present what we all have done together over the last 3.5 years. My staff knows I often put quotes on the board. I often talk in movie clips and things like that. So the thing that for me stood out about us is reflected in this next clip. Well, maybe I'm not going to get to it, huh? There we go.
Pop, pop, get rid of it. Pop, get rid of it. Hot potato, hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Let's be real clear about what we're after here.
Wipe that smile off your face. This is not funny.
The 5 players on the floor function as one single unit. Team, 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 right? No one more important than the other. Pop them, pop, get rid of it. Come on. Come on, big guy.
This room is that team. Each of you working together, no one person more important than the other. That's the definition of collaboration. That's the definition of partnership. That's what this room has epitomized over the last 3.5 years. And it is why we are so successful together. I want to go through some of the compelling accomplishments that you have achieved. So many things. I could literally go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. But people have stepped up individually, collectively, regionally, statewide, all the way around. The blueprint itself, you know it, you've heard it. The Lieutenant Governor was very articulate about some of its key pieces. We've executed on virtually every step. Pits and peeves embedded in there, 1,500 regulations cut, an executive order on day one, no unfunded mandates to local governments. Lisa Nolder asked about rural Colorado. That was day one. We wanted to make sure that no one did those kinds of things from the state level to the local level. Partnerships across the state, big industries to small. Colorado Space Business Roundtable initiated a project through the governor's leadership that said, big companies, go out into our smaller communities and find partners. We went into Pueblo, Alamosa, Durango, Rifle, Grand Junction, Sterling, Craig, and those big companies looked for partnerships and contracting opportunities with small companies in those smaller towns. That's collaboration. A trade and tourism ambassador program the Lieutenant Governor referenced. We've been to Mexico, Japan, Canada to try to build exports for small businesses all across the state. We've enhanced funding for ag tourism, sector partnerships to focus on workforce at the local level, broadband reform legislation, the Colorado Innovation Network, the Insight Tool. I want to thank Kelly Flanagan for adopting the Insight Tool in Grand Junction. She has 19 properties now on the list. That Insight Tool has leveled the playing field between metro and non-metro areas. Metro always had databases that were put together by outside businesses. We now have an investment in technology in Colorado that helps Kelly in Grand Junction, Carrie Linker in Morgan County has 14 properties listed. Southeast Colorado has 19 properties listed. Alamosa has 24 properties listed. And I can go on and on. Those kinds of technology tools are the things that are going to build sustainability into this system, and they're going to help all of us succeed together. We've also focused in our office on sustainability in terms of talent. Many people ask me, so what's going to happen after you're gone? By the way, I'm not gone. Notable. But that is a fair question, because we have played a role of facilitation. So that technology, that backbone we've created, will live on for many years to come. The talent we've tried to build in our office, depth, so that as one person moves on to another opportunity, another person's prepared to step into those shoes. When Deborah Cameron left our office because her husband found a job in South Carolina, Michelle Hadwiger stepped into the lead role in our corporate development team. That's the kind of depth an organization like ours needs to build and continue to build in order to maintain sustainability. We've executed on a proactive business development strategy. That strategy has resulted in, as Commissioner Rapella pointed out, the Hitachi Data Systems, one of many, many, many successes. The Hitachi Data Systems announcement, by the way, was at the Botanic Gardens because they had a special display of Japanese bonsai gardens. And so the client had asked us to host the event at that particular location. So we thought it was appropriate to follow the client's wishes. We've competed hard for so many projects across the Front Range and all across the state. Ardent Mills, Aero Electronics, Ball Seal in Colorado Springs, Charles Schwab, Cool Planet, Digital Globe, Fidelity, Layer 3, all kinds of companies across this state. And it is not easy, despite what folks might say. The phone doesn't ring easily, and our team has focused with you on a whole bunch of proactive business development steps. And I'm very proud of those kinds of opportunities. Shea Organics in Walsenburg. I visited about 6 months ago with the governor. Several of you give me a hard time for my Osprey backpack, shiny and green as it may be. But it's a Cortez, Colorado company, and I'm darn proud to wear it around. My staff likes it because they can see me coming from the Capitol to our office. So they can kind of know when they got to kind of get their acts together again. But that's just some of the things that we've done from a proactive business development standpoint. We've taken legislators on the road with us. We were in Chicago with Sherry Giroux. A big reason she supported some of our legislative agenda is because she saw firsthand from companies what it was that it took to move those companies to Colorado or get them convinced to grow here. We took Brian Del Grosso and Tracy Kraft Tharp to Northern California. And from that, the Job Growth Incentive Tax Credit legislation was a bipartisan effort across the aisle to expand that program from 5 years to 8 years and moderate the wage requirement at the county level so we can compete for more kinds of jobs in the middle class in particular. But those kinds of proactive efforts are critically important. And I think that all of you have helped us weigh in on those various programs and obviously used some of those programs. Just the last Economic Development Commission meeting, we had 9 projects on the agenda, a record by far. We had a project in Montrose, over 60 jobs. 2 months ago, we had a project that was a combination of Fort Morgan and La Junta. That was presented and approved by our board, and of course a myriad of things across the rest of the state. But that proactive work is hard, and you all have engaged with us in that effort and cooperated with us. We have in turn, I hope, built trust with you and an ability to partner with you at the local level in a way that is in fact more constructive and results in greater success. Our key industry networks, you're familiar with those. We have in fact engaged with business. You have engaged with those businesses at the local level. This conference is an example of that collaboration. I can't tell you how impressed I have been over the last 2 days. I know Frank and Kelly and Jessica Erickson from my shop, Rich Werner, and I'm probably going to leave some people off, have worked really hard to elevate this into more than just economic developers, but elected officials, business leaders, all of whom fit into the puzzle. And if we can work together and broaden that coalition, this state will become even stronger. And I commend you for a fabulous event. You're ending a little bit weak, but you'll learn. But those key industry networks have spun out things like the Colorado Advanced Manufacturing Alliance. That very first group of executives self-funded their own group. They've now started to partner with some of our partners on the Western Slope to bring them into the advanced manufacturing initiatives all across the state. I spoke in Southern Colorado just earlier this week. First time expo, Southern Colorado Manufacturing Expo. I kicked it off. Again, they started kind of weak, but it got stronger as the agenda went on that day. We just got a $6.6 million federal grant to focus on advanced manufacturing in Colorado. I can tell you, our office never competed for those kinds of things in the past. And we did it with partners like you, because those letters of support from all across the state that we were able to put together literally in a matter of days are what tipped the balance balance for those kinds of things. With all due respect to the elected officials, those letters are less important than the letters from all of you, people who are actually doing this work on the ground level. We've hired General Lindell to focus on aerospace. We have sector partnerships in virtually every region in the state that are focused on workforce issues at the local level. Not just our key industries, again, not mine, not ours, your key industries. What matters to you in your community is really, really what matters most. And it is from the ground up, the bottom up, if you will, that we are going to be the most successful. Our job in our office is merely to partner with, align with, facilitate with, be a good partner with you in terms of those endeavors. Our Advanced Industries Initiative, our Advanced Industries Grant Program has been phenomenally successful. We funded almost 85 recipients. We have, as I mentioned, the DoD grant. Our collateral loan program has pushed out almost $17 million over the last several years. Regional development. Carrie Linker spent 3 years in our office. It was a great gift. As you all know the story, she didn't always like me, but I'm pretty sure she likes me now. But we've done so many great things in rural Colorado. A couple of things you might not even know. Our office helped fund the conversion of rural movie theaters from the tape to digital. And so we had a situation in rural Colorado where Main Street, often anchored by a movie theater, couldn't get first-run movies, heck, couldn't even get 5- and 10-year-old movies because everything had been converted to digital. We've put almost $150,000 in Pagosa Springs, Brush, Paonia, Eads, Flagler, Walsenburg, Nederland, Salida, Trinidad, to convert those theaters to digital so those theaters could still be the backbone of those main streets and those communities. That's amazing work. Carrie, Donald Zuckerman, many of you in this room are the people who brought that issue to us, and then we just helped try to solve it. Colorado Creative Industries is certified creative districts. Lakewood, Trinidad, Denver, Colorado Springs, Greeley, North Fork Valley, Pueblo, Ridgeway, Salida, Telluride, Longmont. Really cool program. CCI is doing amazing things all across Colorado, not just Front Range, not just Denver, all across Colorado. In fact, some of the most interesting ones are probably in the non-metropolitan area. We just announced yesterday or the day before our Change Leader Institute from Colorado Creative Industries. We have representatives from Delta. We have representatives from, I can't read this because I'm blind. You're gonna have to, my team's gonna give me a lot of hard time here. Chaffee, Otero, Larimer, Teller, Boulder, Denver, Weld, Delta, Denver. Really diverse, really inclusive, all of us reflected in that list. We've done the READY program, Rural Economic Development Initiative. We just funded some projects in Delta County, 2 projects in Delta County, a couple of projects on the Eastern Plains, Shea Organics in the south, as I mentioned. We finished Petal the Plains in Wiggins, Fort Morgan, and Sterling. Colorado United is pushing out $30 million to the 22 affected flood counties, and we'll be doing so over the next year. We've done it in record time. The Colorado Innovation Network, which brings together a real focused group on innovation, was more diverse this last year than ever before. We had 6 representatives from the Western Slope, Durango in particular, or the Southwest in particular. Matt Taylor's on our board, Carrie Siggins is on our board, Phil Vaughn from Club 20. Thanks to him for being such a great advocate. Representative Bob Rankin attended and couldn't be a bigger fan of the Colorado Innovation Network. Just one of tens, dozens of different opportunities. We have a $40 million aerospace project that was born literally from that event, from actually one of the speakers, who's an astronaut, who found a project that will land in Colorado because of that work. The EDCC members, you know them. We've gone from 9 men to 5 women and 6 men. So we're close, ladies. I mean, we're almost there. I think 5 of you and 6 of us is probably, you're in the lead. But we've become more diverse. I remember the very first RTA meeting, and I remember the first applicant standing up and saying, "Gentlemen." And I thought to myself, yeah. And I thought to myself, are you kidding me? Really? In 2010, this is what we have? So we've worked to diversify that. We've got Jay Seaton from the Western Slope. We've got Chuck Murphy from Colorado Springs, Francis Concilia from Pueblo, a whole host of interesting people. It makes for an interesting board meeting you should attend if you haven't, because it can be a little bit fun. We've aligned our legislative agenda with this organization better than we ever have before. We're starting to work on that now early in the spring. We've already been working with you guys on that. That's tremendously powerful. I know we're going to talk a little bit about a training program that we're going to roll out, or that the group's going to roll out today, to really start to look at Colorado from a consistency standpoint. How do we do business in a consistent manner so that clients from the outside know what to expect from us? If they contact us in one community and it comes up through the state, it works well. If they contact us through the state and it goes to the local community, it works well. But there is a way of doing business. This is well underway, and this organization has been a phenomenal, phenomenal partner. I could go on and on, but so many of those things are really reflections of what you all have done. We've merely tried to be a good partner. And I think when I came into this office, if I had one impression, it was that we weren't as good a partner as we needed to be. And I hope if there is one legacy that I have left over the last 3.5 years, is that people will say that we became a better partner to all of you and to all of your communities. I believe that to be true in my heart. I hope you believe it to be true as well. So what do we do going forward? I think our office is focused on really 3 things. First is a concept around culture. We've tried to build a team and partner with all of you on execution. We aren't perfect. Heaven knows I've heard from many of you about instances where we didn't communicate correctly or soon enough or in the right sequence. It's difficult. You know it. You have political realities. We have political realities. But that's critically important that we continue to focus on execution, alignment. How we work together speaks volumes to clients. If they know that we speak with one voice, if they know that we communicate, if we communicate the same messages, it's powerful, it wins. And last but not least, sustainability. How do we keep doing this? This organization, EDCC, needs to keep demanding it, expecting it of my office. I don't care if I'm here or anybody else is here, you all need to expect it of us. We will expect you to be good partners as well, as we have over the last 3 years, but I'm quite confident that that sustainability is possible if we approach it from that perspective. The second is client focus. We want to be the best state to do business in, period. Each one of your communities needs to take up that call as well and be the best community to do business. And if we can take on that challenge, we will find ourselves to be even more successful than we are today. We will continue to focus on our key industries, the 14 we've identified. We will continue to partner with you on sector partnerships at the more local and regional level, work that was started by Carrie Linker and Stephanie Steffens and others. We will continue to focus regionally on how do we align resources on the regional level to get more bang for our buck, to get more success. Because on our own, we can achieve some success. Together, we can do great things. The last is innovation, and we talked on this slide about the Colorado Innovation Network. And really that, the vision of that organization, Michelle talked about it yesterday, is really about Colorado becoming the most innovative state. And if you think of that in the grandest possible terms, this organization should be the most innovative. This organization and each of your communities should think of themselves as an opportunity to feed that brand for Colorado. How can we do business better? How can we do economic development more creatively, more innovatively, not just because it's the way it's been, but because it's the way it should be, because it's the way the world demands, because it's the way clients demand. I think that focus on innovation, coin just is one umbrella for that, but it really needs to be something you take back to your boards, to your communities, to your partners at the local level and say, how can we do this differently? How can we do this better? And I think the partnership and collaboration that we've started over the last 3.5 years will feed that spirit, will feed that change, and I think you will see Colorado just absolutely explode. And actually, it already is in most or in many senses of the word. But honestly, together we can do so many great things. And I recognize that we have work to do in places like Grand Junction, El Paso County, all kinds of places like that where we need to do a better job. And I mean we, not just my office, we in this room. If you're in a community that's being successful, how do we help the communities that aren't as successful right now? And I know that cuts against what everybody thinks is, your self-interest. But honestly, if we do that one thing, if we lend a hand and pull up those communities that still need that help, it will come back to us 10 times over in so many different ways. And I think that's maybe that's the most innovative thing we could do, is look at our community, if it's relatively successful, and ask ourselves, how could we help a community that's a little bit less successful? How could we help the person next door be just a little bit better tomorrow than they are today? And I think that would be a great challenge for us all. The last, of course, I have to finish with a video.
Here's what we're going to do. Jimmy, they're going to be expecting you to take the last shot. We're going to use you as a decoy. Buddy, you get the ball, give it to Merle on the picket fence. He's going to take the last shot. All right, let's go. What's the matter with you guys? What's the matter with you?
I'll make it.
All right. Buddy, get the ball to Jimmy, top of the key. Justin, spread the floor. Let's go. Let's
So 2 things about that. They, first of all, was that team was strong enough to question the coach's judgment about who should take that last shot. And I think that I can assure you that over the last 3.5 years, any number of you on our team have been very willing to question my judgment about who should take the last shot. But I appreciate that. And to me, that's a definition of a trusted and good relationship, is one where your partners can ask you hard questions. And I appreciate that from all of you. The last line there, or the last word, was team. And I think all of us have formed a powerful and compelling team. And I'm very proud to be one of the members of that team. And no matter where I go over the next 10 or 20 years, I will always feel that I am a part of this team, and I'm very proud of that. So thank you very much for your time. Now, I know you're all, hold on, Frank, because I know Frank's just dying to get up here because I'm probably overtime, but whatever. We do need to see if Jimmy makes the shot.
By Henry. The score is tied at 40. There are 19 fateful seconds remaining in the game. It'll be inbounded by Henry in the backcourt, along the sideline, passed in by Ray Butcher, who was responsible for the interception. It goes into 21.
Thank you all very much. This has been just an incredible run. I'm not done quite yet, but I can tell you I'm proud to be part of this team, and look forward to working with you all for many years to come. Thank you.
Great job.